This video we're going to do some custom window treatments. So I've ordered some composite shutters from blinds.com. So they came in the mail. We're going to unbox them, we're going to put them together, and we're going to get them installed on these windows. Stay tuned to see how we get it done. The kit came in 2 boxes per window. So the first box is the rail kit. That's what we have here. Let's go ahead and open that up. One thing that I did notice is that they did a really good job packing this stuff. I don't know if you can see that through the plastic, but each of the pieces has got a foam wrap around them, and then they're put in plastic, and then they're all tied together. They came pretty much undamaged, unscratched. I was pretty happy about that. All right, here's a little better view of what came in the box. You've got a left, a right, a top, and a bottom. The left and right are clearly marked. They have stamps at each end to tell you which one's which. First thing you need to do is there's these inserts in the side that are decorative that cover the screw holes. So you need to take these out. They can be a little difficult to get moving at first, but once you get them going, they come right out. And of course, these will go back in to trim the window later on in the process. I don't know if you can see that, but there are pre-drilled holes down this frame that you'll use to drill this and attach it to the wall around the window. This is the exterior mount kit. They also have an interior mount kit. We thought this would be a little easier to deal with any imperfections in the windows. Plus, we also like the look of this to give the room a little bit more pop. It looks like the window's trimmed, so should look really nice. So if you look at this piece here, there's a little keyhole notch. The keyhole notch is the top. So in this case, there's an L, so this is top left. So we're actually going to assemble it in reverse. So we're going to start off with the top left this way, the top right that way. In the bag of parts that this comes with, it comes with these little tiny keyhole pieces. So in the notches on there, you'll notice one edge is rounded, one edge is not. You're going to put these rounded edge down and you're going to install them right in these notches to hold this together. So I'll put that frame together and I'll just push that in there. Now by themselves, those don't really provide a lot of structural support. So there are holes drilled in the side and you'll run screws in, and when you run the screws in, that's what'll tie that frame together. Really what those do is they help with the alignment to make sure that your frame comes out nice and straight. So to attach those sides, you'll find some screws that look like this. I'm not sure how big they are. They're about 1.5 inches maybe. And like I said, there's a pre-drilled hole in the side over here that you'll run that right in and you'll tie that corner together. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Okay, that hole that I was talking about is right here on the side. You're going to go ahead and put the screw in there. I found it really helpful to have an extension on there because you have to have such a reach that otherwise you hit the chuck of your screwdriver. Make sure that you're nice and lined up or as close as you can get. And you pull that together just like that. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. So once you're done with the top, you're going to repeat the process at the bottom. You need to be really careful aligning the bottom for 2 reasons. One, there's no keyholes at the bottom to help you get that aligned properly. And 2, there's also no pre-drilled holes here on the end. So wherever you hold that together and run that screw, that's where it's going to stick. So make sure that it's aligned before you drive that screw in there. I've assembled the frames per the instructions. Now I'm getting ready to put them up on the window. What the instructions say to do next is to put them up there and put in the left mounting screw only, and then you're going to take a level and adjust the frame, and then you'll set the right. You won't put any of the rest of the mounting screws in. At that point, it actually says to put the shutters in and then do any adjustments with the shutters. That way you can still tweak the frame if you need to. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to start by just getting the left one installed up on the window. So I put the left screw in per the instructions. I put a level on top. It was almost perfect. I made a minor adjustment and then I went ahead and set my right screw. So per the instructions, it says don't put any of the rest of the screws in the frame right now. It wants you to put the shutters on and do that adjustment that I talked about. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I've got the shutters sitting in here. I don't have any pins in there. The instructions do say if your hinges don't line up, you might have to make an adjustment. In my case, it looks like they all line up. So I'm going to start by fitting this middle pin. Okay, got the first shutter installed. That's how these are going to look. Cool thing about these is when you move one, it moves that entire section. Let's go ahead and fold these out of the way and put the other ones on. So I've got both sides installed. I double checked the top and sides with the level, and then I went ahead and started my screws. So the only thing left to do to finish this side up is to run those screws in and then put the trim in. So let's get it done. Now that I've got the frame mounted to the wall, I need to put the trim pieces in. Per the instructions, you put the top in first and then snap the bottom in. Let's see how that works out. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I'm gonna put the side trim piece in. So you want to set that outer edge out first and then lay that in there and then give it just a little tap once you get it lined up. And that popping you hear is it's snapping into its groove. So that looks pretty good. So I repeated the same steps I did for the top, for the side. So I've got the side trim pieces snapped in place. So this window is basically done. Just a quick overview of this. It's got two sections of shutters. They rotate in and out. If these become loose over time, there's two holes on the side here and here, and there's adjustments in there where you can add a little tension to make sure the shutters get held in place. So with this window done, we'll go ahead and move on to the other one. So the kit came with these little tiny plastic shims that you can put behind the hinges. So in my case, there's a little bit more of a gap between the shutters than I'd like. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the shims behind the hinges on both sides and see if I can close that gap. So to put that shim in there, all you have to do is loosen that hinge up, and then you slide this little plastic piece in behind it. Get that slid behind there. You tighten your hinge screws back up. Now let's take a look at that gap and see if we closed it up. Before, you can see a little tiny stretch of light now, but before there was a noticeable gap between there. So adding those spacers on each side of the hinges actually made a considerable difference. So I'm really glad I went ahead and did that. So blinds are installed on both windows. I'm going to do a quick demo of them and then we're going to wrap this video up. So as I showed earlier, you can simply adjust these with your hands, and when you grab one blind, it adjusts the whole lot of them. They also swing open, which makes it nice to be able to see outside. Unfortunately, in this particular application, the middle ones do overlap a little bit. It's okay, you can still get the windows open nicely, no problems there. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up and think about subscribing to the channel. The subscriptions really help me out. Also do lots of tool reviews and some other interesting things, so I'll link some of those videos up here. Remember, this is part 2 of the master bedroom project, so if you want to see how I did the accent wall, there's a video there you can go ahead and check out. Finally, I want to say to all my brothers and sisters serving in harm's way around the world, you're always in my thoughts. Be safe out there. Till next time, everybody.